Hi everyone, I'm Sreesha and have developed this program which we can see on the screen where a cyclist is revolving around this uh, constant image palace, and every time he changes his sides and his face also changes accordingly. So let's see how this works. So in this Java, this is a Java program I have used. So these are all the import statements, and in the class called around frame rotation, which I have made, I've declared two coordinates x and y. If you are using three coordinates or three-dimensional, we can use z coordinate also and necessary imports. In this image data type, I'm declaring two image img and palace. So this is a constructor of this class where I have set the frame size for 900 by 900, and this one enables the dialog to be closed and sets the title and allows the frame to be to get resized and um, make the dialog or frame to appear on the screen. So the pixel size of these two images are 300 by 300 or 250 by 250, which is compatible to this frame size. Then in the default method called paint, which takes a parameter called argument called g, which is of graphics type. I'm declaring since graphics is a general thing and graphics 2D is unique or specific for two-dimensional, which has many methods. I'm using G2D or graphics two-dimensional, and yeah, and I'm making the images to appear on the frame. So the first image, the image icon class takes the image from this laptop in this path. So generally the image is stored in the folder where source file is obtained. So if I can go to the file manager, so this is where the source is there, source folder where Java programs are stored, and here the images are stored. If you are using any other location, then the path has to be given in this format. And if you are a Windows user, then this this slash is required, and if you are Linux or Mac, I don't think this is required if the path is different. And in the draw method of the graphics, I'm placing the image. Get image method of this image icon takes this image value and assign this to this variable. And to draw the image, I'm using this draw image method, which takes a parameter of the image name, x coordinate, y coordinate, and image observer. I'm setting it to null here. So generally what happens is in the mathematics we take this center point as a reference, right? But in Java, top left corner is taken as the reference point or center point. So x is the horizontal distance and y is the vertical distance. Yeah, in the try catch method, try catch because I'm using delay of thread.sleep, so try catch method comes. Yeah, and I'm using for loops because there are four sides in the square, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the four for loops, I'm putting the logic and the images moves on. So in the first iteration, we don't need, there is need to change only the horizontal value or x value, but the vertical distance from the reference point always remains constant. So I'm changing only the x coordinate, x value by 30. I'm iterating this for 30 times because since I'm changing this coordinate value by 30, so 30 by 900 is 30. So I'm iterating this for loop for 30 times. We can get this number by trial and error method too. And I'm increasing the y value because from the reference point it is going away from the reference point. So I'm increasing this x value, keeping the y value as same. Yeah, and in every iteration the x value changes, horizontal value changes, and the new image is drawn with after that with a sleep of 50 milliseconds. So that is regarding the first side. In the second iteration, the cyclist changes his face and move towards bottom. So when the cyclist is moving in this path, so his only y coordinate has to change, or his only a vertical path has to change, but the horizontal distance remains the change. I mean, only the vertical distance has to change, but horizontal distance remains the constant. So I'm not altering any x coordinate value, but I'm altering only y coordinate value, like this. Like I'm increasing the y value because from the reference point again he's moving towards down. I mean, that's the reason I'm increasing. So since he's moving away from the reference point, I'm increasing the y value. So increasing the y value means moving from top to bottom by 30. Since at this position 900, at this position 900, he has to change his value. I mean, he has to change his face. That means the image has to be rotated. So if you can assume this is the line, this is a 0 degree, the image rotation happens anti-clockwise. 0, 90, 270, 360. I mean, 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. So I'm using this affine transform class and object called at, and this method called get translate instance, which takes two parameter. I'm passing the parameter as x coordinate and y coordinate. So what does this object do? This object has a method called rotate. So this rotates any data given to it. This rotation happens in the radians. So since the user is giving in the degrees, I'm using this function to convert degrees to radians. So after that, at this position, which is 900 by 900 or border of the dialog, this image get rotated, and I'm using G2D method of draw image, where and since this is a polymorphism, G2D method of draw image takes three parameters. One is the image has to be drawn, and this AT, object of affine transform, and image observer, that is null. So in every iteration, in the first iteration itself, this image gets converted by 90 degree, and it will be drawn at the coordinates where only y value is changing from top to bottom with a delay of 50 milliseconds. So if we can iterate the x value for 30 times in this for loop with an increase of 30, x coordinate will be 610, but I want the image to be rotated at this border position, like 900 by 900. So I have set the x value as 900, since in the next for loop I am changing the x coordinate value, because the cyclist has to move from bottom right to bottom left. So I'm resetting this value as 900. So in this for loop again, I'm decreasing the x value because the cyclist is moving towards the reference point. And I'm rotating the image by 180 degrees because the rotation happens from the original image angle. So I'm rotating the image by 180 degree and drawing the same image with a delay of 50 milliseconds. And this one I'll come at the end of this video. What if we don't want to rotate the image? I'll explain this at the end of the video. After this for loop, I want the cyclist to come back at the starting position. So here only vertical distance changes, but the horizontal remains same. So I'm resetting the value as for y as 900, because if you can iterate this loop, the y value becomes 610. But I want this image to be rotated and move to the next position at frame border, that is 900. So I'm resetting this value and iterating the same for loop, and here I am decreasing the y value because the observer is moving towards the reference point, so the distance decreases. So I'm decreasing this vertical value, and I'm keeping this x value as 10 because I want the cyclist to change his position at 10 pixel away from this reference point. So I'm rotating this image by 270 degree, since he has to face the palace in every pedal. And after the whole process is completed, I'm resetting the value as x and y to 10, as I have set it the starting of this function of this program. So after that, I'm calling the repaint method. So what does this repaint method do is this method calls this function again and again. So the cycle goes on and continues forever. So yeah, regarding what if I don't want to rotate the image, so I just have to remove this affine transform and these x and y coordinate values. I have made that, I'll show you. So this is a program where I have not rotated the image. So I have not used any affine transform method, nor I have changed the x and y coordinate values, because have a look at here. Here itself, the cyclist is moving towards down at this 610 position. So the image is not being rotated. Here the coordinate value need not be changed. But in the other case, the coordinate value has to be changed because the cyclist has to shift to rotate it or face this center of the image. So here resetting of the values is not necessary, and using affine transform is not necessary. So this is a program for not changing the not rotating but sense moving, and this is a program for rotation. Yeah, hope this helps. I'll try to give this in the comment section, the code. Thank you. We can debug, put the breakpoints and debug for more information. Thank you.